It's a familiar yet uncomfortable experience that most of us have. Walking down the street and seeing someone in need, looking up at you in despair, asking you to spare some change. Most of us are familiar with the routine. We quicken our steps and pat our pockets, indicating our lack of resources. More and more cities are limiting the options of homeless to ask for help from others by passing legislation that makes panhandling illegal. More often than not, this legislation is practical, business-minded, but does not consider the effect that it has on our homeless brothers and sisters. But at the root of all of this is a very important question. Do I give or not? It may sound like a question with an easy answer, but maybe the situation is more complicated than we think. Perhaps the perspective of one man will better equip us to struggle with this question.
That it's okay to help someone that asks for help. You know, you don't have to be scared of somebody and take this like this is everyone. You know, we're not the gang element on the streets.
Right.
You know, we're not the worst that's out there. You know, and the problems we have are simply exposed and easily seen. People with apartments have just as much the same problems and sometimes even worse. People with nice homes, people with wealthy homes. When it comes down to it, we're not really different. We may be in some ways extreme, but our problems are out in the open. We're people like anybody else. This is the fact of the matter. People panhandle because it's an alternative to stealing. I don't want to steal, I'll ask for it. I would rather first work, even if it's a little bit and I got what I need. If I don't, then I would rather ask. It's a judgment call. One, I think, rather than being selfish and bitter, you might be better off giving you a little change. Two, you look at the person. It's a judgment call. Does this person need help? Or is he trying to feed an addiction? Sometimes you can't. I have had a place and I went by simply, do I have something to give or not? Just simply say no, if the answer is no. The one person that says, I'm really tired of this, who is angry, who's full of rage, who probably should see a psychiatrist himself, calls and you're in jail. Most homeless people are just people that are trying to survive and get by another day.
What can we do? What should we do when someone asks us, can you spare some change? When asked for help, instead of relying on easy answers, perhaps there's a better way in which we can share the light of Christ. When approached by someone, we can look them in the eye. We can ask them their name. We can ask them what they need the money for. If they say they need money for clothing, for food even, we can help them get those things. We can go to a nearby fast food restaurant, pick up a burger or two, and drop it back off at the person. If they hesitate, it's probably because they want the money and don't want the help. We have to be faithful to do what God has called us to do, to be the people that God has called us to be, to give to those whom God has called us to give. The answer to give or not to give is not very clear, and it's not as concise as we would like. It's complicated. Sometimes God asks us to betray our better judgment and give to people we would normally not give to.
Is there really, when it comes down into it, anything wrong? I need a little help. Could you help me out?